Hi and welcome to BeatleDave's Beatles channel. Today's video is episode 3 of my Apple Records album series, so please come and join me. So hello and a very warm welcome to BeatleDave's Beatles channel. Hope I find all you fantastic Beatles people doing really well out there, and thank you so much for joining me again on the channel. Well, the subject for today's showing is episode 3 of my Apple Records album series and the Mary Hopkin LP Postcard, which was also produced by a certain P. McCartney. I wonder who that can be. But in this series then, I've decided to show each album in release date order, as well as showing any additional USA or reissue pressings and some original 8 tracks along the way as well. So obviously I won't be showing any solo Beatles albums, just the other artists who were signed to the Apple Records label. Right now, it's time for something completely different. It is... Yes, welcome to Ask BeatleDave, where I'll be answering your questions that you have about anything Beatles related on perhaps any item that I've shown or not shown so far. Absolutely any question that you may want to ask, and I'll endeavour to answer it for you. So today's question is from Gerard McMullen. Hi Gerard, hope you're doing well my friend. And he asks, BeatleDave, what are some other rare Beatles records or memorabilia that you would like in your collection? Now, if I was to list them all, I think we're going to be here a good few hours. But as far as memorabilia is concerned, I think it's got to be a signed album by all 4, possibly Sgt. Pepper or Please Please Me or something like that. But that's going to be out of my reach. But really, as far as vinyl records go, it's got to be a Stereo Gold Please Please Me or some UK Demo 45s. So Gerard, I hope that answers your question for you. Now, if you want to contribute to Ask BeatleDave, just send me a question in the comments and I'll include it in a future episode. It's that simple. So come on guys, please please me by getting involved and ask me some fantastic questions. Okay now, so moving on though, it's time for... So yes, it's on to them old shout-outs. And it's a big BeatleDave hi to George Price. Hi George, hope you're well. John Mates, Bob's Old Records, Jeff Still Jeff, Joan Olivella. Hi Joan, hope you're well. Chris Taylor, Beatleman69 and Gavin Norman. That's a big hi from yours truly, BeatleDave. So on to the main event then today, and it's episode 3 of my Apple Records album series. So please, come and join me. Postcard is the debut album by Mary Hopkin and was released on Apple Records in the UK on the 21st of February 1969, making it number 3 in the album charts. It was released slightly later in the USA on March the 3rd, 1969, where it made number 23. Produced by Paul McCartney, the original USA and Canadian versions differed from the UK version by including the hit single Those Were the Days, instead of the cover version of Someone to Watch Over Me. The sessions took place at Abbey Road, Trident and Morgan Studios in London, with sessions starting from early October and ending in early December 1968. A list of contributors to the album included Paul McCartney, George Martin, Donovan, as well as Mary playing guitar herself, with arrangements on Those Were the Days and Goodbye by Richard Hewson. The album was launched by Hopkin at the Post Office Tower, London on the 13th of February 1969 with a turnout of rock stars including Jimi Hendrix, Brian Jones, Donovan, as well as McCartney himself. The album included 3 songs written by Donovan, one of which, Lord of the Reedy River, was deemed to be one of the album highlights, with one critic saying, "Hopkins' voice is very well suited to the Donovan songs, although they may be ponderous and overlong." So let's take a look. So here we are then, we've got the Mary Hopkin album Postcard, released in the UK on Apple Records on the 21st of February 1969. This being the mono version, and the catalogue number is Apcor 5. So let's take a look at the sleeve first. That's a really fantastic laminated sleeve. All these early Apple ones are really lovely, really fantastically well made. That's a great photo of Mary there. Obviously Mary Hopkin was the winner of the game show or show Opportunity Knocks in 1968. And it was Twiggy that notified Paul McCartney, you know, you should really check this girl out. She's a really great singer. And before you know it, he signed her to Apple Records. So an absolutely fantastic find there for the label. And there we are then. We've got some more great pictures of Mary there. And you've got all the tracks on both sides. Obviously on the UK album, Those Were the Days was not included, as it was on the US version. And you've got Apple Records there, 3 Savile Row, West 1, Love from Paul, Ken and Linda. So let's take a look at that spine. So you've got postcard, Mary Hopkin, mono, Apcor 5. So of course with the early Apple albums, you've got this black die cut inner Apple sleeve. Great looking item, but just a bit too harsh on your vinyl. So just make sure you replace them with something a little bit softer. So onto the vinyl then. And this particular copy is incredible condition, this one. Beautifully shiny, really nice condition. You've got the sold in UK as you've got on most of these albums that were pre-July 1969, before they removed that detail. And of course you've got the postcard with producer P. McCartney there. And on the left we've got the 33 1/3, manufactured in the UK with side 1, and opposite to that you've got Apcor 5, P 1969, with all the track details there. It's quite a dark looking label, this one. The matrix on side 1 is nice and easy, Apcor 5A-1. Nice and straightforward. So let's flip that over. And we've got much the same details there. We've got the sold in UK details with postcard and producer P. McCartney, with the 33 1/3, manufactured in the UK with side 2 on the left. And on the far right we've got Apcor 5, P 1969, and all the other tracks to side 2 there. Once again, matrix on side 2 is Apcor 5B-1. That's a really smashing looking record, and it sounds great too. So moving on to the stereo edition of Postcard by Mary Hopkin, released once again in the UK on the 21st of February 1969 on Apple Records, Sapcor 5. So we're going to look at the sleeve once again. We've got just a few little touches of laminate lift here and there. This one obviously suffered from it quite a lot, as did some of the other Apple albums actually. But it's a really fabulous looking sleeve anyway, this album. You've got those great pictures of Mary once again, with all the track details on side 1 and side 2. Also at the bottom there we've got the Mike Cotton Band, graphics by Gordon House, printed and made in England by McNeil Press, London. So let's just take a look at that spine as well. There we are, postcard, Mary Hopkin, and we've got stereo, Sapcor 5. So once again then we've got the apple black inner sleeve. This one's in pretty good condition. There's no splits in any of these, they're all pretty decent. So onto the stereo vinyl then. Once again this one's in pretty good shape. Really nice and shiny. Got the sold in UK details there with postcard and producer P. McCartney, with the 33 1/3, manufactured in the UK, and side 1 on the left there, 9 o'clock, with the stereo, Sapcor 5 and P 1969 at 3 o'clock there, with all the track titles down the bottom. Once again, it's quite a dark little label, this one. Nice easy matrix number again, with Sapcor 5A-1 on side 1. Let's take a look at side 2. And once again, we've got the sold in UK details at the top there, with postcard, producer P. McCartney, 33 1/3, manufactured in the UK, side 2, and stereo Sapcor 5 P1969 there at 3 o'clock. Really nice copy, really shiny. And the matrix on side 2, Sapcor 5B-1. So moving on then to the next copy of Postcard by Mary Hopkin, I've got a USA edition here which is completely sealed. This was released on the 3rd of March 1969, catalogue number ST3351. So I'm going to take a look at this then, as much as we can. It's got a nice, quite a nice seal. It's really tight on this particular album, quite a tight seal. You've got some breathe holes there above, just the M on the Mary there. You can just see breathe holes, which you always need. Got a little sort of reaction thing going on with some of the plastic, I think. But it's identical to the UK, that frontage as well as the back virtually. But you'll notice on side 2 we've actually got Those Were the Days, which is included as track 4, instead of Someone to Watch Over Me, which is on the UK version. Now the actual song Those Were the Days, that sold incredibly well. It reached obviously #1 in the UK, and it reached #2 in the USA, selling 1.5 million, but 8 million sales globally for that song, which is absolutely incredible. And we've got some more details at the bottom there, which it's hard to see through the plastic, but it's got graphics by Gordon House there at the bottom right there as well. Let's take a look at that spine then. We've got Postcard Mary Hopkin, just about see it through the plastic, and the catalogue number. So moving on now, I've got the 8-track version which was released in America on the 3rd of March 1969, same day as the album, and the catalogue number for the 8-track is 8XT-3351. So this one's completely sealed as well, and also has the track Those Were the Days there on program 3, and this is in absolutely fantastic condition. And there's all the details there. And on the back we've got the Apple 8-track stereo. So the final edition then of Postcard by Mary Hopkin is this reissue one, and this was released in 1991 as part of the Apple Records reissue campaign. It was released on the 19th of November that year. Catalogue number Sapcor 5. Also had a barcode which is 0077779 778119. So let's take a look at the sleeve first then. Once again, these are really fantastically replicated, just like the originals. There's no laminate on these reissues sadly, but they've got a nice little sheen on them, which is pretty nice. And then you've got Postcard Mary Hopkin then. Get a look on the back then first. Of course we've got that barcode with the CD and cassette details there, top right. Got the same pictures as on the original, with all the 1991 details there, bottom left. And then you've got the postcard with side 1 and side 2, and disc 2 bonus tracks, side 1 and 2 as well. And then the fabulous thing about these albums is that you've got a nice gatefold with plenty more information. So you've got all the tracks there on the left hand side. And you've got some great pictures of Mary there. Really nice pictures of her. And a bit more information to the right of the gatefold, with some releases and track details there at the bottom. Really nice. And then we've got our spine, of course. So then we've got our inner sleeve, which is a die cut one, which is poly-lined as well, which always helps. And they're in great shape as well. So on to the first vinyl then. And like the other reissues that you've got on the early 90s, these are just a little bit on the flimsy side. But surprisingly, they sound really, really great. Obviously they were analog, which is great. I mean, you know, these are 30 years old, but they still sound really fantastic. Really great looking label, these ones. And this is a genuine UK copy, as I've said before, as opposed to the imports that we got around the same time. You can always tell that because it's actually got side 1 written as side 1. The matrix on side 1 then is 7977821-A1. That's a beautiful looking vinyl. So hard to get these now, these reissues. They're really difficult to find. And that's another fabulous looking label, really great. And on side 2, the matrix is 7977821-B1. So we've got our poly-lined die cut inner for our record 2 then. That one's in great shape as well. So on to the bonus disc then, which came with the Mary Hopkins album then. And this is more like a 12-inch single actually, because it runs at 45 RPM. But it does sound absolutely fantastic though. So this is on side 1. You've got 2 tracks on side 1. Really great labels as well, once again on these. The matrix on this side is 7977831-A1. Just looks like glass. This is incredible, absolutely fantastic condition. And once again, you've got side 2 there, just 1 track on this particular side. And the matrix on this side is 7977831-B1. Really does sound absolutely super. These reissues are something else. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. Really hope that you've enjoyed seeing those fantastic Mary Hopkin LPs. And as always, any comments I get from you guys, I will always reply to you just as soon as I can. So the next Apple Records album series will be back next month with the fantastic Jackie Lomax album, Is This What You Want? And hopefully it will be. So anyway, in next week's video I will be continuing with the Beatles UK album series and the 55th anniversary of the legendary album Sgt. Pepper, and I've got some absolutely fantastic albums to show you guys. So please be here, same Beatles time, same Beatles channel next week. So anyway, as always, if you enjoy what I'm doing, why not give us a like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. This is BeatleDave signing off.